Today on Taking Over Tottenham, we start our Champions League journey with a big clash at home against Paris Saint-Germain. That is coming up after the intro. Hello everyone and welcome back to episode number 16 of Taking Over Tottenham here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and if you're looking forward to us kicking off our Champions League campaign here in today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and do enjoy the series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But we have finally made our way into the Champions League after not having it in the first season, having to go through the Conference League, albeit we did win that competition, but we are now up with the big boys and we're taking one on today in Paris Saint-Germain. As we looked at yesterday, they were unbeaten in Ligue 1 last season, so this is a real tough test for us today, albeit it is the home league. If we can win this one, we'll put ourselves in a very good position nice and early to get our way out of this group, a group we probably should be getting out of anyway, even if we did lose both games to PSG, with Salzburg and Wolfsburg teams who I think we should be beating. So hopefully we can make our way through to the knockouts in the second and last season of Taking Over Tottenham. But we have played a few games since yesterday's episode, so we'll do a quick recap on that one if you did miss yesterday's episode, which was deadline day and a game against Aston Villa. I will leave a link to it above my head in the top right corner. But our form since then, we've only played 2 games. First off, the EFL Cup third round. It was a rematch with the team who we knocked out of the competition last season in the quarterfinals on our way to winning the Carabao Cup. That was Manchester City. Unfortunately, we went down 1-0. We won't show you guys the highlights because it was a late penalty, which was the deciding factor in this game. Manchester City with a 94th minute penalty. Erling Haaland put it away, but you look at the stats, we were not good that day, didn't really deserve to be going through, and we bow out of the Carabao Cup as defending champions in our first game in the third round. So a bit disappointing that, but I suppose it gives us a bit more focus on the other competitions. We'll save our legs for the likes of the Premier League and for the Champions League. So disappointing, probably should have been losing that game by more, but we'll take it after winning the competition last year. We don't need to be winning that competition 2 years in a row. We'll try and focus our attention elsewhere. And off the back of that, a big bounce back in the Premier League, taking on Blackburn at home, the newly promoted team, and thumping them 7-0. Really good performance this. We won't show you guys all the goals, or we're going to be here for quite a while. But as you can see, very clinical with our chances. A much better performance than what we put out before that against Manchester City, albeit considering the golfing class between those two teams, that is not unexpected. So we're already out of the EFL Cup, and in terms of the Premier League, we are still top of the table, still undefeated alongside Manchester United, but with one more win than them, so hold a 2-point gap as we kick off the Champions League today. But we are taking on Paris Saint-Germain, as I said, a team who were unbeaten in Ligue 1 last season, and something I did fail to mention, they do still have Mauricio Pochettino as their manager, so much like Roma in the Conference League final last season, taking on a former manager. This one a lot more well-liked at Tottenham. It is fair to say their best manager in recent history. It is fair to say Mauricio Pochettino taking them to the Champions League final a couple of seasons ago. Hopefully we can go one better this season. But first up, we are taking on his Paris Saint-Germain team, who are without Mbappe but do still look very strong. In terms of our squad that we had to register for the Champions League, we will quickly go over this because it's a little bit different to what we'd usually have. You see there the likes of Jeremy Frimpong, our deadline day purchase. He's in the squad for this Champions League game because we do not have enough homegrown nation players in our squad, and that means that we have had to sort of leave a few players out who we would have liked to improve. It's actually quite lucky we got Frimpong over Calvin yesterday because he is actually homegrown nation, so that's a pretty important thing. Otherwise, we would have been struggling for a second choice right back, but we make our way down a little bit further. The likes of Caligari, Yusuf Demir, also Ricardo Calafiori are players unregistered for this competition. We just didn't have enough room to register those guys with our squad that we currently have here at Tottenham, trying to fit in with the competition regulations and rules. So a few players who we would have liked to have registered for this competition, who we have been able to register, but we've still got a pretty deep squad, and hopefully we can start off with a good result here against Paris Saint-Germain. If we look at the team that we are going to put out, it is more or less first choice. The only change at the moment, Andrea Belotti starting up front. Harry Kane is still a bit injury prone. You can see his injury susceptibility there above average, and to be fair, his recent form not as good as Belotti's anyway. So that's the only change that we have made. In fact, I tell a lie, Joe Rodon is also out with that same heavy workload. So Tanguy Nianzou is starting at centre-back alongside Christian Romero for this upcoming game against PSG, but more or less a first-choice team. And I do tell another lie, because if we go over to the injury screen, you can see there that Hugo Lloris is in goal, and that is because Andre Onana pulled a hamstring in a recent game. He is going to be out for a further 1 week to 3 weeks, so he's going to miss the first little bit of this Champions League. It was quite a condensed Champions League in the second season of your saves this year, and that is because, of course, with the World Cup happening mid-season in 2022, they are going to fit in the group stage before they go on that big break in November and December. So getting rid of the Champions League group stage stuff nice and early. We've got probably only another 1, maybe 2 episodes, depending on how well this Champions League group stage stuff goes before we get into the January transfer window, just because of that big gap in November and December. We are going to come back tomorrow, I think, for the Liverpool game, and we'll see how we're tracking in the Champions League then. And if we are in a good position to be going free, we might not come back after that until January, potentially for that Man United game. But I am getting ahead of myself a little bit today, focusing on Paris Saint-Germain. But as you can see, a very condensed Champions League campaign this time around, with only 1 decent gap in between the group of 3 fixtures in the group stage. But we will come back shortly for this game from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, run you guys through the team sheets. Yet again, missing a few players, as you would have seen, but still a pretty strong team. And we'll see how PSG line up when we come back shortly from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And we do have TV coverage for this game, so there is another recap of our team being in pretty good form. That first loss of the season 2 games ago against Manchester City, but bounced back against Blackburn. Hopefully we can keep that form going here against a good PSG team, albeit you can tell up top they are missing Mbappe. He has gone to Real Madrid. They have Adeyemi instead, very promising player, but certainly more a work in progress, I would argue, than currently being good. So that's potentially one area of weakness. Their front three not looking as strong as it did in the past, and we'll see what we can do here in the home tie of this group stage against Paris Saint-Germain. 13 minutes gone here, and it is PSG on the attack, although Neymar Jr. gives that ball straight to Ndombele, and we now look to do something with the ball ourselves. Our stats have been a little bit better than PSG to start this game. Hopefully that continues for the remainder of the 90 minutes. If we can pick up 3 points here, as I said earlier, that would give us a big chance of getting through the group, especially if we can make the most of it before we come back tomorrow for the Liverpool game. Before then, we are going to be playing both Wolfsburg and Red Bull Salzburg. So if we can pick up wins in those games and go 9 from 9 to start the group, we'd put ourselves in a really good position to qualify out of it. But first off, we've got to try and get 3 points from this game. Nice ball there for Belotti. He rockets it into the top right corner. That's a really nice ball over the top there from Renan Lodi. Picked the space in the defence. Belotti runs onto it, and just shy of the core of an hour mark in the first Champions League game of the save. It is a wonderful assist, and Andrea Belotti thunders that into the top right corner, and it's Tottenham 1, PSG 0. 20 minutes gone now. It is a goal kick to PSG as they look to work their way back to all square in this game, playing out from the back. Wijnaldum, the former Liverpool man, passing it up to Brozovic and Nisios. So they've changed their team a little bit from what it started like in this save, partly due to players leaving on free transfers, no doubt, but still it is a pretty good team. But we've started this game off well, 1-0 up after 20 minutes, and they look to play out from the back again. We're closing them down nicely. Really good tackle that from Højbjerg. What will Heung-min Son do here? Just outside the back box, back for Lo Celso. Over to Renan Lodi, puts a ball in. Belotti with the header, puts it wide, but we are looking the more threatening team at the moment, albeit still 1-0. 24 minutes gone. It's a free kick here to PSG about halfway through the first half. Hakimi out to Adeyemi, tries to curve that top left corner just over the bar and still 1-0 Tottenham. And a very quiet second part of that first half means it is 1-0 Tottenham as we go into halftime. You look at the stats, we're definitely the better team here at the moment. PSG have had a few shots, nothing on target. We've been a lot more threatening and fairly deservedly hold a 1-0 lead going into the second half. We're going to make one change at halftime. Nianzou is struggling just a little bit on a 6.4 rating, so we will bring Joe Rodon on for him to start the second half, but pretty happy with how things are going. 1-0 up against PSG. 48 minutes gone here. It's a throw into PSG nice and early in the half, and Adeyemi gets absolutely clobbered from behind from Tanguy Ndombele. Maybe that's why he's not playing in real life, because that is an absolute shocker from the French central defensive midfielder, and that puts us at a big disadvantage, down to 10 men for most of the second half. What I'm thinking of doing here, Heung-min Son is getting a little bit tired. He's played a lot of football for us recently. He's one of those players who we can't quite seem to replace in terms of our substitutions. We're pretty good most other areas, but Heung-min Son is clearly better than the other options in this squad. We'll give him a rest while we can here. And I think what we're going to do, as you can see on screen, we'll bring Oliver Skipp on. We'll just play the rest of this game without a left winger, and Oliver Skipp can go back into the CDM role. I think that's the most sensible thing to do with a 1-goal lead, and we'll see how that works out. Ndombele, not great from him, and we'll see how we get on for the remainder of this game with 10 men. Still 1-0 up though. Up to the 59th minute here is a PSG corner, and Lo Celso is off the field. That comes off the bar. That is a good chance for PSG. We are going to have to make a change though, because Lo Celso just picked up a yellow card and an injury. We don't want any iffy players out there, so we're going to have to make our third substitution, Harry Winks, to come on for Lo Celso. Still clinging on here with just less than half an hour to go. 1-0 up. Up to the 73rd minute, another corner here for PSG, going far post, and Gini Wijnaldum, the former Liverpool man, strikes here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and we cannot hold them out in the second half. Down to 10 men, it is 1-1 with just over a quarter of an hour to go. He's given a lot of free space there at the far post. Højbjerg does not pick him up there, and unfortunately all square with 16 minutes to go. Up to the 85th minute here, another corner to PSG. Gets his head to it there. Does Marquinhos over the bar, and it does remain 1-1 with only a few minutes left in this game. And not long off the back of that, after 88 minutes, we have another highlight here. Lloris makes his way forward. Hopefully not going to throw that ball straight into the PSG attacker it would be. He doesn't. Finds Belotti though from the long kick. And now it goes out to Jesus Colonna. Can we create something? Belotti with the header straight at Donnarumma, but that is promising. Still creating chances with only 10 men on the pitch. If we can get a draw out of this game now, I would be quite happy. If we can get a winning goal, that would be absolutely superb after Ndombele left us in the lurch. Nice ball there for Belotti. Potentially should have taken the shot on there, but Renan Lodi makes his way forward. Back for Winks. What can we do here? Oliver Skipp tries to put one. Top right corner goes over the bar, and we have 5 minutes of added time in this game, but at the moment looks like it might be heading for a 1-1 draw, albeit we are showing the goal kick straight off the back of that missed chance to Oliver Skipp, so we might still be able to create another chance here, or it might be PSG on the attack. Messi, poor ball there. Renan Lodi will pick it up, and we now look to go on the counter-attack. Belotti, nice ball over the top there for Jesus. Colonna makes his way down the right. Can he find someone with a ball? Belotti on the edge of the inner box, and he rockets that into the top right corner. And with 10 men, it is Tottenham 2, PSG 1. That is a wonderful strike on the volley from Belotti. Picked out Colonna out on the right-hand side here, and Belotti's given a little bit of space inside the box, just around the penalty spot. Bumps that top right corner, and we pinch a lead with 4 minutes of added time to go. We will slow this game right down. We'll change the tactics, and we'll get everyone on defend as much as possible here, because we are down to 10 men. We don't want them creating too many more chances. We'll even get Hugo Lloris, I should say, on defend, and we will tell the boys to start time wasting a little bit as well. But hopefully we can just hold on for this 2-1 win here. We'll also pull Jesus Corona back. Actually, that's probably a good idea. 4 minutes to go. and we are getting shown a highlight straight from the restart, so that's a little bit concerning before we can make those tactical changes now that we are 2-1 up. And it is Window down the right-hand side, back for Hakimi. They are on the attack immediately here. It's a free kick. Ramiro brings down the PSG player. It looks like he's going to get a yellow card here, so we better tell him just to behave himself in these last few minutes. But we are certainly riding our luck in this game. Our discipline has not been great, it is fair to say. We'll time waste frequently, slow the tempo down even more, and try and hold on to this 1-goal lead with a few minutes to go in this game. And if they do take the free kick there, PSG, it's blocked. It's an absolute mess inside the 6-yard box. Luckily, we do deal with it, and then Belotti heads it away. So hopefully that is going to be that. We are over referees added time and pick up a big 3 points here in the Champions League. We started things off well. Things did turn to custard a little bit in the second half after Ndombele got sent off very early on for that tackle on Adeyemi. No complaints about the red card. Conceded a goal with about a quarter of an hour to go from a corner, but pinched one back late. Jesus Corona setting up Belotti for his second on the volley, and that is a big 3 points for us to start off this Champions League campaign. We kept Messi in our pockets a little bit defensively as well, so that's quite nice, and start off with a win in the Champions League. And back in the inbox after that win in today's game. Big win, as I said, that gives us a big leg up. If we can beat the teams who we are supposed to beat, we have a good chance of potentially qualifying for the next round before we have to take on PSG in the away leg. So that would be ideal, and we can potentially rest some players later on in this Champions League group stage and focus a little bit more on the Premier League if that does go to plan. But a really good start, even though Ndombele did get that red card. Lo Celso going off with only a bruised shin, so not too bad. He'll be available in the near future. Ndombele, yep, I don't think we're going to be appealing that one. It was a bit of a shocker, and we get 2.4 million, thanks largely to the double from Belotti. But that will do it for today's episode. Our first win in the Champions League and our first Champions League game of the save here at Tottenham. As I said earlier, we will come back tomorrow for the Premier League game against Liverpool. We did Manchester City a little bit last season from memory. I know they have the likes of Haaland this time around, but we can come back and play them later in the season if we still are in the hunt for the Premier League title. But hopefully we can get the job done against Liverpool, much like we did in the home game late last season, and that would keep us in a pretty good spot on the Premier League table, currently in third. It'll be interesting to see where we are positioned, as well as both Manchester City and Liverpool by the time we get into that episode, and also how we are sitting in the Champions League. We'll see how we're looking in tomorrow's episode, and then decide if we're going to come back one more time before the January transfer window, or if we just go straight on through to that Manchester United game. It's probably the one that stands out there in January, if we have already more or less secured our place in the Champions League knockouts. But tomorrow we will take on Jurgen Klopp's men on camera for the first time in the save. But if you did enjoy today's episode, beating PSG at home 2-1, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video. And if you haven't done so already and do enjoy the content here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. And until tomorrow, for Liverpool in the Premier League, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.